I'll declare the meeting open at 6:30 and acknowledge the traditional custodians, the Gurriata people, and recognise the contribution of Gurriata elders past, present, future in working together for the future of Port Hedland. In addition, I'd like to acknowledge also, with a minute's silence, to honour the memory of the victims of the shooting in Christchurch, where 50 people were killed and 50 others were injured. So a minute's silence, please. Thank you, Council and members of the public and people watching for that. Item 3, recordance of attendance is as listed. We don't have anyone away. Thank you. 3.2, attendance by telephone instantaneous communication. There is nil. 3.3, apologies. There is nil. 3.4, approved leave of absence. There is nil. 3.5, disclosures of interest. Members, do I have any disclosures of interest for tonight's agenda? No? Thank you. No disclosures. Thank you. Item 4, applications for approved leave of absence. Do I have any applications?
Yes, Matt.
Yes.
From the 31st of March to the 4th of April.
Do I have any further?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes,
from the
Councillor Pitt.
15th of April to the 6th, to the 2nd of May, and the 21st of May to the 31st of May.
Councillor Whitmore. The 3rd to the 23rd? 13th to the...
Down the microphone.
From the 13th to the 23rd of April. And all that, it's really towards the end of that period. I can't be more precise than that to say
Okay.
we're towards the end of that period.
Yeah, no problem. Do I have any further applications?
I have tendered leave application, Mr Mayor, from the 8th of May till the 18th of May.
Thank you. Nothing further? Thank you. Could I get a mover? Councillor McDonough. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Carter. Do I have any against? Thank you. 9-0. Councillor Heber, do I just get you to move that? Yeah, thank you. Item 5, response to previous questions. 5.1, response to questions taken on notice from the public at Ordinary Council meeting held on Wednesday the 13th of February 2019 from Miss Laura Shannon. The question is listed and the answer provided. 5.2, a response to questions taken on notice from elected members at the ordinary council meeting held on Wednesday the 13th of February 2019 from Councillor George de Cash. The question is provided and the answer as well.
Mr. Mayor, just a correction on that. Can I do it now?
Yep.
Page 25, where it says, I'm just concerned about the spending of $50,000, I'm sure you are, of taxpayers' money.
We're currently talking about on page 9, your question.
Oh, sorry, but in the previous minutes,
Yes.
it should be the ratepayers, not taxpayers' monies. So I've got from the last meeting,
Yes.
so I'm just making a correction that the previous minutes you should read ratepayers' monies and not taxpayers.
On page 9, is that?
No, sorry, Mr. Mayor, no, page 25 of the previous minutes. Can I do that now, or do I have to wait till?
Is that correct? We can, yeah, if we can wait till we just get to the confirmation of the minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Did
Mayor.
you have any issue with the question on page 9? Your question?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, can I want to ask a question about the response. So is that now or later on in questions from member?
You can ask in the questions.
Okay, that's
yes,
fine.
from members. 5.3, questions from members at the special council meeting on Wednesday, the 27th of February 2019. There is nil. Item 6, public time. This meeting has been recorded on audio tape and streamed live online as an additional record of the meeting to assist with minute-taking purposes, which may be released upon request to third parties. If you do not give your permission for recording your participation, please indicate this at the meeting. The public is reminded that in accordance with section 616 of the Town of Port Eden local law and standing orders, nobody shall use any visual or vocal electronic device or instrument to record the proceedings of any meeting unless that person has been given permission by the presiding person to do so. Members of the public are also reminded that in accordance with section 6174 of the Town of Port Eden local law and standing orders, mobile telephones must be switched off and not used during the meeting. In accordance with section 673 of the Town of Port Eden local law and standing orders, members of the public are required to complete a question form and place the completed form in the tray provided. So 6.1, public question time. I open public question time at 6:38 and call for public questions. Do I have any public questions from the gallery? Yes. Thank you. Miss Gillingham, could I have your name and address, please?
Janet Margaret Gillingham of 3 Simmons Street in Port Hedland. And thank you for having my questions. Also, could I ask that a question regarding the Gratwick Hall update, and if when can there be a grand reopening to the public once refurbishment is completed?
Yes, I think we can give an update now. It's fairly close.
Through the chair, as you know, the east wing downstairs is completed and the west wing's work is currently going ahead. At the moment, we expect the west wing works to be completed by approximately the 15th of April. So once that work is completed, we will move the staff members from upstairs back to downstairs, and then the works will start upstairs. And we expect the works upstairs to take between 6 to 8 weeks. So if you take that, then that probably has us out at the end of May this year, Councillor.
Thank you. That's very promising. Thank you very much, everybody. And also, question 2, in relation to the Premier's visit, with Premier McGowan visiting this week, in brackets, although Cyclone took precedence over his visit, has there been any mention on a future build or move of the Stephen Street retirement village to a more safer, less cyclone-prone area? Has Mr McGowan taken this on board?
No, we didn't have that conversation, so didn't talk about Stephen Street at all.
Okay, thank you. And my question 3 is, the Pilbara Music Festival Incorporated this year is in its 43rd year, and the only way it can actually operate voluntarily will be if the Town of Port Hedland Council can waiver or extremely lower any fees that are presented for use of venues such as the newly refurbished Gratwick Hall, the Matdan Theatre, or the Wanangura Stadium, which is used for the school day of the Festival of Choirs. I know that funding is available and will be applied for, but I just want to ask, is it possible that this could be taken on board for the future of making sure that this festival can continue in its entirety? Thank you.
So, Ms Gillingham, over the last few months, we have made some significant changes to the way we operate our facilities, and we've taken, we're about to take back the Wanangara Stadium and the swimming pools and operate them in the house. Which will give us the opportunity to, to look at those reductions in costs that you talk about as well. And also, the council has applied a new a system that allows community groups to apply for funding through the town. And it's significantly more than what was possible previously. So those opportunities are available now, and I think community groups will be serviced a lot better through the town by those applications being filled out and presented to council.
Thanks very much. That's
Thank you.
great news. Thank you.
Do I have any further questions from the public? Okay, thank you. I'll close public question time at 6:42 and open public statement time at 6:42. Do I have any public statements? Oh, okay. Miss Gillingham.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Mayor, CEO, Deputy Mayor and Councillors. Janet Gillingham, 3 Simmons Street, Port Hedland. The community spirit of our town was at its highest before, during and after Cyclone Veronica graced us with her presence. I would like to thank everyone who lent a hand to many of us in need. I would like to ask Mayor, CEO and Councillors to please commend all the volunteers leading up to the red alert and during and after the cyclone's strong onslaught. I feel sure all our community will join me with regard to sincerely thanking the Town of Port Hedland, Mayor, CEO and all staff of the Town of Port Hedland, together with all the volunteer organisations, and to thank them all for their combined efforts in working tirelessly to keep our community thoroughly updated. Yes, we were lucky. It could have been a Category 5 rating, but we were blessed with much less. Thank you to everyone. United we stand. Bravo. Thank you. And thank you, Mayor, for your compassion to the 1 minute silence that we had tonight. It is something which is very dear to everybody's heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms Gillingham. Do I have any further public statements? No? Thank you. I'll close public statement time at 6:44. 6.3, petitions, deputations, presentations and submissions. There is nil. Item 7, questions from members without notice. Deputy.
No, thank you, Mayor.
Councillor Arrow.
Yes, thank you. So my question is the response that Councillor George De Cash got, which was a re-question from Miss Lauren Shannon back in 13th of Feb. And I think Councillor De Cash questioned this because he didn't believe the information that was given. So
So, Councillor Arif, are you saying the information was incorrect that was provided?
Yes, I would like to know where this information came from, because I was the manager at the time and most of those services were provided solely by the manager of the retirement village. So I just question where those numbers came from at that particular time.
Do you think that in addition to what the retirement village did, the town did additional work?
No, I don't believe so, because I would have known as manager if the skip bins were emptied or if the air conditioning had been fixed and things like that. Yes.
So, just so I'm clear, you don't believe that the town has provided the correct information?
That's right.
Okay. CEO, could I get a response?
We can get that checked and pull the purchase orders and identify that.
Yeah, I think it was from 16-17 or 17-18, which was a long time before the council took it over. So, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Any further questions, Councillor Arif? Councillor Whitwell? Councillor Carter?
No.
Councillor De Cash?
Yes, Mr Mayor, I've got a few, but the most important one first. Mr Mayor, can I please ask for permission to address the meeting to make 2 public apologies?
Granted, Councillor De Cash.
Okay, councillors, Mr Mayor, I advise this meeting that a complaint was made to the Local Government Standards Panel in which it was alleged that I contravened the Local Government Rules of Conduct Regulation 2007 WA on the 23rd of May 2018 when I made comments regarding the past actions of Mayor Camilo Blanco. The panel found I breached the Town Port Ellen Standing Orders, Local Law 2014, by making adverse comments regarding Mr Blanco's past conduct and implying he was a hypocrite. Due to such actions, and thereby breached Regulation 4.1 of the Local Government Rules of Conduct Regulation 2007 WA, and B, I breached Regulation 7.1b of the said regulations as the comments were improper and made with the intention to cause detriment to Mr Mayor Blanco. 3, I accept that I should not have made the adverse comments regarding Mayor Blanco, that such comments were not appropriate. And 4, I now apologise to Mayor Blanco, the public and my fellow councillors. That's the first one, Mr Mayor. Can I go on to the second one?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Okay, councillors, I advise at this meeting that a complaint was made to the Local Government Standards Panel in which it was alleged that I contravened the Local Government Rules Conduct Regulation 2007 WA on the 23rd of May 2018 when I made comments regarding an interview I gave to the North West Telegraph newspaper, and in particular those comments that concerned Mayor Camilo Blanco. The panel found that by making the relevant adverse comments, I contravened the Town of Port Hedland Standing Orders, Local Law 2014, and thereby breached Regulation 4.1 of the Local Government Rules of Conduct Regulation 2007 WA. 3, the panel found that I breached Regulation 7.1b of the said regulations as I made improper use of my office as a councillor with the intention of causing detriment to Mayor Blanco. 4, I accept that I should not have made the adverse comments regarding Mayor Blanco, that such comments were inappropriate in content. 5, I now apologise to Mayor Blanco, the public and my fellow councillors. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Do you have any further questions?
Yes, Mr Mayor.
Thanks.
Mr Mayor, 18 months ago has passed since you made allegations against elected councillors in October 2017 for fraud and corruption in October 2018. You stated that police have found no evidence of your allegations, but you still insisted you were going to pursue your allegations. Can you please tell me what progress has taken place in the last 6 months of those allegations?
Well, that question would have to be answered by the police because there's still a current active investigation.
So you're still pursuing it, Mr. Mayor?
I'm sure that the police could answer your questions if you would like to present that question to the police.
Okay. Just to follow on to that, so Mr. Mayor, will you name the councillors you claim caused fraud and corruption in the 2017 October council elections? Would you name them?
I never claimed any councillor said anything or did anything. So I'd like you to, ensure that you're saying the right thing when you're quoting me. Everything is on the public record. I've never said that.
So from what I gather, that it could be that the whole 5 of the new councils may be implicated.
Again, those. If you would like to know, further information on that, I'm sure the, question to the detectives that are investigating the issues relating to the election, you'll have to deal with the police, I'm afraid.
Is it possible that you can give me or yourself or the city can give me the contact numbers?
Yes.
Can we all get them? Those contact numbers?
South Edmund Police Station detectives. I'm sure that all councillors understand where that is.
Okay, thank you for that. My next question, Mr. Mayor. Can you tell me why there's a delay on the retirement village maintenance requirements? A report should have been submitted to us today, but it appears that it will now be next April. I'm sure the last meeting it was stated that we'd receive the maintenance report this meeting.
Yes.
Why is the delay?
Because there is other reports and prices that we've been requesting, and as soon as the report is ready, it will be presented to council. I think we have a briefing on that next week.
Okay, thank you. Something that concerns me, Mr. Mayor, so the question will be, Mayor, 3.4 of the OCM, you read out approved leave of absence. Can you tell me the penalties if councils take leave without approval, excluding emergencies, and or not seek approval at all, or use excuses like attending meetings, not council matters, for unapproved leave for any amount of days?
Can you be a bit more specific?
I can,
yes.
Mr. Mayor, because in January of this year, I'm alleged that you took a couple of weeks off.
You alleged.
Well,
you don't have to allege. I was in Sydney.
Okay, so I'm glad you clarified that, just to make sure that I've done. So you without approval, Mr. Mayor.
There's no approval required.
Okay.
So next question.
Okay, so on the 15th to the 21st of March, again you had leave, and you went to Perth without seeking leave or approved leave from the council.
Absolutely, I did, and there is no need for me to ask for leave.
So why do we as councillors?
Because you don't know what the rules are. That's why you do it. It has, you do, Councillor De Cash, because you have stated in many meetings that you are only required to attend a council meeting, and I'll add to that, you're only required to attend the Audit, Risk and Governance meeting if you are listed. They're the two requirements as a councillor that you must attend.
Yep.
If you cannot attend those two meetings, then you must put a leave of absence in. So if you are absent in that time, and you won't be at those two meetings, you are required to put a leave of absence in. Other than that, there's no requirement.
Great. Thank you for that answer. I appreciate it.
Well, you did explain it to us previously.
Look, I've got no doubt that I did say that those other meetings are relevant but irrelevant to making decisions. So, yeah, these ones are the most important ones, and the audit, and I agree with you.
But I'll add to that as a council representative elected member, there is a lot of requirements, a time requirements for council members. There is a lot of briefings, a lot of extra meetings that council members should be aware that they should be attending so they are informed at a council meeting and they can make an informed decision. And that's why we have all of those meetings. So, the review to the Local Government Act, I think the Minister has just approved the requirement of elected members that must have training and ongoing training, to be a council member, and that training has been provided to this council many times, and that training basically states that you must attend as much as you can so you're fully informed for any decisions, because we are basically running a multi-million-dollar business here. So without that sort of information, the council may make incorrect decisions that are detrimental to ratepayers and the finance of the town.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Speaking for myself, I attend as many of those meetings as I can, and I'm sure the other councillors do as well. Thank you. That's all I got.
Thank you. Councillor Hebbar. Councillor McDonough.
Just a point of clarification for me. We received, and sorry, I only just noticed this after the start of the meeting, but we received an email from the CEO yesterday just in relation to the minute silence that we had at the start, but there was also another minute silence mentioned in there.
I'm going to discuss that in a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Pitt.
Yes, I didn't come prepared for this question, so it's just a conversation around the table. If you don't feel you can name particular councillors who've been supposedly committed electoral fraud, then how come you've kept on your Mayor Camillo Blanco page a comment made by a community member which clearly states that there were councillors on this council who've committed electoral fraud and should hang their heads in shame for being a part of such, activity and stuff, and you yourself have responded to people saying it was the October 2017 election?
Yes, so what would you like me to
Well, I
answer?
was a part of that election.
And what would you like me to answer, Councillor Pitt?
Why have you left that on your mayor page for?
Oh, because I don't review my mayor page every answer that people put on there, and I don't go back 12 months or 18 months and have a look at all the little questions and answers that are in there. Is it still there?
Yeah, it is, and you're actually part of conversation on that page after those
Okay.
comments had been made, so I don't accept your answer.
Okay, if you don't like or what's on there, maybe you can send me an email and ask me to remove it, because you haven't requested that previously. If it refers to you directly.
Well, it doesn't refer to me. I can sit here confidently and say that I've never been investigated or interviewed in regards to any electoral fraud.
Okay.
Thank you.
So if you would like further information on that, like I've said to Councillor De Cash, I'm sure a question to the detectives in South Hedland, and they will respond accordingly.
You do know it can be defamatory.
I understand defamation quite well, and was it referring to you, Councillor Pitt?
No, it was referring to people, in your words, October 2017
Okay.
election. So that was myself, Councillor Carter, Councillor McDonough, Councillor Hebbar, Councillor De Cash.
Okay, so if you have a problem with that, then like I say, send an email out and I'll have a look at it.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Okay. Okay. I'd like to make announcements by the presiding member without discussion. Okay. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, obviously we've had a wild weekend, and I want to stress a few key points about Tropical Cyclone Veronica. We need to be clear that Tropical Cyclone Veronica ended up being basically an equivalent to a Category 1. We have effectively dodged a bullet. While the cyclone was basically a severe storm with a high tide of about 8 metres, it still caused a significant amount of damage to our coastal infrastructure. our boat ramp on Richardson Street and our park it potentially will cost millions to fix, and not to mention the costs in Port Hedland and Cook Point on the beachfront. So we will be working on getting solutions to those areas. Just a public note, it is on our website, but if you're watching, we've got Shoda Road closed, Quartz Quarry Road closed, Pippingow Road closed, Yandiao Road closed, Cemetery Beach is closed, and the Richardson Street boat ramp is closed. And the director has mentioned that we have structural engineers flying in to do an assessment on the boat ramp, and early indications of our visual inspections are it'll need a considerable amount of work to bring it up to standard. People can use the Finnegan Island boat ramp in the meantime. We've scheduled the ramp to be cleaned of sand build up from the tropical cyclone over the weekend or early into next week. Yarrie Road is open with extreme caution. The MacDan is scheduled to be open for movies on Friday night, but we are doing the clean-up at the moment. We're hoping that will be done, but if it is not open, we will inform the public. The Greenways pickup started today, and they'll go on in Port and South Headland, and they're also we will also be picking up tomorrow. So neatly stack your green waste on the verge and keep it under 1.5 metres. The South Headland tip is open with caution. Floodwaters on Shoda Road have caused the sewage ponds to breach, resulting in significant contamination. So try and reduce any exposure to that by staying out of the water, basically. And if you have any questions, I'm sure we can direct you to the Water Corp. Or do we have answers on that one at any time? No. We can ask the questions and or get you some answers from the Water Corp if you'd like to know. There was some talk today about the water build-up on the Red Bank Bridge, and members, well, there was an uproar on social media saying things were going wrong or the road was about to collapse. There is no problem with Wilson Street. It's not going to be closed. There are people out there looking at the situation, and there is no issues with that road currently. For any other information, you can always go to the town website or Facebook page to get any more information. So I'm very pleased the Premier Mark McGowan, the Emergency Services Minister Fran Logan and local member Kevin Michelle came to visit to get a first-hand account of the damage and thank Emergency Services for their efforts over the period of the cyclone. The coordination and cooperation between all agencies resulted in minimal issues being experienced by the community. And I know from a lot of emails that I've received and texts that they are very grateful for that. I took the opportunity to outline the overcrowding issues experienced with the emergency services facility at the airport, and I requested the Minister to look at upgrading the facility into a Category 3 Incident Command Centre. As Port Hedland is a cyclone-prone area, it's critical that the operations room and amenities that are provided are adequate for the 30 to 50 staff and volunteers that are required to run these incident centres. I did get some very positive feedback from the Minister and DFIS on that, and they will be looking at that for us, so that's great news. I'd like to thank all the staff and volunteers that spent their days assisting, our Hedland Police and extra support from Broome, They slept in swags at the police station in South Hedland. Extra DFIS staff and SES volunteers stayed at the SES building. The ambulance, Defence Force, the Pilbara Regiment D Troop, and the town of Port Hedland staff. Our staff got the town ready before the cyclone hit, and our staff are quick to get the town back up and operational in record time. They've been out there in force cleaning up the mess very quickly. Also, BHP supplied 40 employees to help out with the cleanup, and FMG helped out significantly as well. So when you see our staff and those people on the side of the road cleaning up, why don't we give them a toot of appreciation and see if we can get that rolling for the next week or so. I'd like to read some comments from some of the people that sent some comments in. And one lady has said, "Hello there. As a resident, it is evident to me that due to your previous planning, commitment to public safety and all preparedness, Cyclone Veronica had minimal impact to me as a person and zero impact to the safety of my family. I wish to commend you all for your efforts and give thanks that we all came through unscathed and with limited damage." Another one from the principal of the South Hedland High School, and he says, "Thank you for the support of BHP, FMG, the town of Port Hedland staff from Works and Services." And also the principal of Cassia, and she writes, "I'm writing to thank you and your team for the considerable work undertaken pre, during and after Cyclone Veronica. I would also like to thank your team with assisting with the car park water issues. It is very appreciated. Congratulations again to all of the employees of the town of Port Hedland." So, over the years, I haven't really worried about talking about things like that, but the town does get a significant amount of criticism, and it's great to see people writing in and saying that they were very impressed with our actions, and we did very well in the lead up and aftermath of the cyclone. But I would also like to stress that, the town has improved significantly over the last few years, and we are always improving moving forward. On another note, there is a contractual requirement between the council and the CEO of the town of Port Hedland. And I've been advised in writing by the CEO of his decision and not to request an extension of his employment contract. Mr. Pence is an outstanding CEO. The town of Port Hedland has benefited hugely from his leadership, and he will be a great loss. The notification gives the council a significant amount of time to start the recruitment process and transition period for a new CEO coming into the organisation. So thank you, and we'll move on. Oh yes, hang on. I have got another announcement here. So, I would like to acknowledge the passing of Karen Merrin, the first woman mayor of Port Hedland, who served between 1988 and 1993. She was an outspoken advocate for people in need and made an outstanding contribution to improving the life of the Pilbara. She passed on the 18th of March 2019. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to item 9. Declarations of all members to have given due consideration to all matters contained in the business paper before the meeting. Can I have a show of hands, please? Thank you. 9-0. Item 10, confirmation of minutes of previous meetings. 10.1, confirmation of minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on Wednesday the 13th of February 2019.
I have a query on that one, Mr Mayor.
Yes,
Or
councillor.
just on page 25, it's just halfway where it says that I'm just concerned about the spending of 50,000, as I'm sure you are, of taxpayers' monies. I'm pretty sure I said ratepayers' monies. So can I get that changed from?
Yep, that's no problem.
Okay, no worries. Thank you, Mr Mayor. That's welcome.
So
moved.
with that minor amendment, do I have a mover in the officer's recommendation?
So moved. Awesome.
Move Councillor De Cash. And seconded Councillor Carter. Do I have any against? Motion's passed 9-0. 10.2, confirmation of the minutes of the special council meeting held on Wednesday the 27th of February 2019. Again with the officer's recommendation on page 11. Do I have a mover in the officer's recommendation?
So moved.
Move Councillor Arif. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Carter. Do I have any against? Motion passed 9-0. Members of the public are cautioned against taking any action on council decisions on items on this evening's agenda in which they may have an interest until formal notification in writing by the town has been received. Decisions made at this meeting can be revoked pursuant to the Local Government Act 1995. Councillors, I'm going to try and do some items on block. Are you happy to give it a go?
Mr Mayor, I'd like to speak to one of the items.
Okay, which one, Councillor?
Just hang on a minute and I'll just go back and find it. Oh. Sorry.
If councillors want to
Yep.
speak to any of the items, you can ask me now and I'll pull it out of the en bloc and we'll do it individually.
Yes, Mayor, I want to speak to one as well.
Some item numbers.
Yeah.
11.1.2, corporate business plan.
Oh, that's the same one. Yeah.
11.1.2.
Yeah, same one.
11.1.2 is an absolute majority that is done on its own anyway. So, is there any others?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to speak on 11.1.1, recommendation 3, receive and note the accounts paid under delegated authority for the period ending 31st of January 2019.
11.1.1.
Yep.
Okay. So,
Sorry,
yes.
I've got a few as well. I've got a few questions on some of these items.
Which numbers?
11.1, 11.1.3, 11.2.1, and just a query on 11.3.1.
Okay. We'll just go and go through the whole agenda item. So, (11.1.1) Statement of financial activity for the period ended 31st of January 2019 with the office recommendation on page 13. Do I have a mover in the officer's recommendation?
So moved.
Move Councillor Arif. Do I have a seconder? Do I have a seconder?
Mayor, I'd like to speak to it.
Well, yeah, you can speak to it.
Alright.
Can I have a seconder? Second, Councillor. Deputy. mover and a seconder. Just hang on one sec. Councillor Pitt, do you have a point of clarification?
Yeah, just in regards to a payment that's on page 16. This is something that's repeatedly come to council, and obviously you most probably know which one it's going to be in regards to the Giuliardi Aboriginal Corporation. On page 16 is being paid elder sitting fees, a total of $1,454.75. Now, we had that particular corporation come to council last September. I've got the minutes here.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's in the number 3. Accounts paid under delegated authority. Yeah.
So the attachment.
Yeah, the attachment.
Can I get a number, Councillor Pitt? Attachment number.
1, 2, 3, I would say. CEO's delegated payment list. Attachment 3, page 16.
Page 16. Does everyone have it? The page number? How far up or down is it, Councillor Pitt? Third from the bottom?
Third from the above.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so there's a payment there, and what's concerning to me is back, I have the minutes here, on the 26th of September 2018, we had Miss Trina Stoddard, who claims she is the CEO of Giuliardi Corporation, come. We also had 2 local elders who sit on this corporation as directors, with our town CEO, make claims that they have never received any payments from the town of Port Hedland, which aren't reflective also of the September 2018 finances, which were late because there are payments in that as well.
Councillor Pitt, can I just clarify their elder sitting fees?
Why are we paying elders sitting fees? Listen, I haven't finished. This is a local government. It's not like a lands trust meeting or anything like that where directors do get paid. So why are only Aboriginal elders getting paid sitting fees?
I've asked that question many times myself, and that is the standard when it comes to local governments when elders are present at any meeting, whether it be industry, local government, or anywhere. They are paid a sitting fee.
Why?
Well, that's a question you're going to have to ask them, because the issue is that if we don't pay the sitting fee, they don't turn up.
Well, then there's the problem. Why pay elders to attend meetings?
Well, I'm sure that...
Why can't they just come? If they're so concerned in regards to community issues, they should come without being paid.
I agree with you, actually, but over the years, this is a standard that's been applied. And if you don't like the fact that elders are being paid for sitting in meetings, then I suggest you put an item to council and get council to decide whether we are going to pay Aboriginal elders to attend our meetings or not. That is the requirement that you'll have to...
Yeah, I'm against that, because why are we just singling out one particular group? There's other elders in this community...
I'm not singling anyone out.
Who come to community meetings as well, who should get the same type of sitting fee. I've never heard any local government, unless you can provide an example, pay Aboriginal elder sitting fees.
I can provide you many examples.
But the concerning part of it is that these people who we're paying sitting fees to are on a federal registered corporation with our town CEO. And they have come, and it's stated here in the minutes, and have said they've never received payments from our town.
No,
when they have. The minutes are right here. Point of
Councillor
order.
Pitt. No, you are incorrect, actually.
No, I'm not. These are the words. Miss Stoddart.
Pitt.
No.
Council, point of order. Yes,
I'm sorry, this is not appropriate.
exactly. So,
What's not appropriate, Mayor Blanco?
a point of order. Do you understand what a point of order means?
Yeah, I do. But what's not appropriate about
A point of order
discussing this at the
means,
table?
Councillor Pitt, a point of order means that all discussion ceases and then we address the point of order.
Okay. All right.
I don't believe that, I believe that the clarification has been made and we're now getting into an argument. We've gone past
Absolutely.
debate.
Yes,
Thank you.
agreed. Councillor Pitt, do you have a further question?
Yeah, I do actually. Why is the CEO paying the corporation that he sits on without disclosing a conflict of interest that is being paid out of his delegated authority?
Again, the CEO is not paying any corporation. They're paying Aboriginal elders that are sitting on a committee, and that is the standard. And I have explained how you can stop that from happening. Any further questions?
No, none.
Thank you. Do I have a mover and a seconder? Do I have any against the motion? Motion's passed 8-1.
Mr Mayor, I believe we have to go into debate if someone's against.
Yes, yeah, correct. Speakers for, so we'll reverse up. Speakers for Councillor Arif, speakers for Deputy Mayor, speakers against Councillor Pitt.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. The items 1 to 4 are all about receiving and noting what has already been spent. There's nothing more that we can do with this, just receive it and note it, and note Councillor Pitt's query on that. But we just have to, that's where we're at. Thank you.
Speakers for Deputy Mayor.
Yes, I was just about to say similar to the same. We're noting, receiving. I take note to Talona's query, and now that that's reported, we can move.
Speakers against Councillor Pitt.
Yes, I don't feel that my query has been answered properly. Yeah, you're paying elder sitting fees, but I wasn't given the chance to continue to say that the only Aboriginal elders who are receiving sitting fees under the Giuliani Aboriginal Corporation are those who sit as directors on that corporation, and that there are only 5 members of that corporation. 3 which are Aboriginal elders, and 2, one David Pence and another community member. So to me, that seems that's a conflict of interest. I have a concern that's what it may be. So that's why I'm voting against tonight. Thank you.
Speakers for. I'll speak for it, and again, the list of payments already been made, so there's nothing that we can change. There is, again, like I said previously, there is a standard across all local governments and different agencies where they pay Aboriginal elders to attend meetings. Much the same as the government or other agencies pay for travel to get Aboriginal elders and the like to attend different functions around the place. The payments do not, the payments, in my opinion, are not irrelevant to any financial interest with the CEO. The CEO has listed the Giuliani Corporation on the interest register. I think I have mentioned that previously. It is a public document, anyone can have a look. So it has been declared by the CEO. Speakers against? Speakers for? A right of reply. Councillor Arif.
Just put it to the vote.
Thank you. Those in favour? And those against? Oh, we changed. 6-3. Passed. (11.1.2) Corporate Business Plan Performance Report.
Mr Mayor, I'd like to move an amendment.
Yes, what is your amendment?
I'd like to have part 2 of that removed.
The whole of part 2?
Yes, that's right.
CEO, could I get some advice on that? What does that do, CEO?
So the intention is to still undertake this work, but it cannot be completed with the staffing that we have in the current financial year. That's why it's being removed from this year's CBP.
Thank you very much, but I'd still like it removed.
I'll second that.
I seek some
I've
clarification.
a mover in Councillor Arif, a seconder in Councillor De Cash. Do I have any against? Speakers for, Councillor Arif. Speakers for, Councillor De Cash. Speakers against, Councillor McDonough.
Thank you very much. Part 2, when I looked up the strategy, and it was Town of Port Hedland is marketed and promoted locally, statewide, nationally, internationally to tourists and investors. When I went across to the actual plan, it was linked directly to the marina, the development of the marina, and it said that remove until the marina was developed. Now, I think that this is sort of doing it back to front. So we cannot remove this part where we develop, implement, and market the town, because what's that saying to people not in this town is that we're closed for business. We're not going to promote our town. We're not inviting new retailers. We're not inviting new families to come and live here. We're not marketing our town. So it's saying to tourists, tourism, the tourism sector in our town of Port Hedland are not going to be marketing you. The Chamber of Commerce, same thing. We're not going to be promoting ourselves and our branding strategy to them. Hospitality, hotels, even the mining companies, we need to still be promoting our town as being livable. And to withdraw this part from one of our strategies is a big mistake. It's going backwards. It needs to stay in to send the message that, yes, we are still open for business. Taking in consideration what the director said, that they don't have the staff at the moment, but I don't think at the moment to do it. I don't think you remove it, you just don't do it as rigorously as you might have done with the full complement of the staff. But we should not remove this. The town of Port Hedland and the town are still open. We still want to say, hey, come and have a look at our town. Come and see us. Come and do business with us.
Speakers for, Councillor De Cash.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. And Councillor Arif sort of said most of it, but I've got a couple of issues. Again, the Sportmac Marina being the carrot that before we progress. I mean, that could be 2 years, 10 years away before anything's done in the corporate business plan. The other thing I've got problem is where it says in the report, it says in accordance with policy 409, significant decision making, this matter is considered to be a medium significance. Well, it can't be a medium because it's not reflecting what the town has and the promotion of the town. So it's not medium, it's a significant issue if we rely on the marina to promote our town. Thirdly, under consultation, internal, multiple managers and officers were consulted during compilation of this performance report. Where was the councillors' consultation? This never came to us. You know, from my understanding, it never came where the Spaldbank Marina was going to be the issue that we couldn't progress further to promote our town. That's my issue. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Speakers against, Councillor McDonald.
I'd like to say I think the councillors, Arif and Dukash, have made some very good points there, and thank you. To be honest, I would probably now go along the same lines as them, that now that when we sort of talk about it, the Minister thinks that the marina is going to be well and truly underway by the middle of 2020, so let's just stick it in there and move forward with it. Thank you.
Speakers for.
I'll speak for the. This strategy is there to market, promote local, statewide, national and international to tourist investors. After reading the strategic community plan once again, the marina is not even stated in the plan. My belief's that we have a wonderful town and it already attributes leading port of Australia. It embraces community, culture and environment. Our heritage that interests tourists, our economy being the powerhouse of Australia. I believe it is a priority in promoting our wonderful community, also enhancing small business. This is an important part of our corporate business plan and practical implementation. The marina will enhance infrastructure, but it isn't the only quality that Port Hedland has. Recently, Kalgoorlie Boulder's advert on TV is a wonderful marketing promotion, which I would love to see Port Hedland do. That small advert has gone around the whole of Australia with high fives. We are already a unique, vibrant and diverse community, and we need to start advertising and branding and collaborating with industry to make it happen. The marina could be 2 years away, if maybe less. The agenda item that did not include that you didn't have the staff to undertake this work, so that was slightly a bit. Thank you.
Speakers against? Speakers for? A right of reply.
Just put it to the vote, thank you.
Are those in favour of the amended recommendation? Show of hands, please. And those against? The motion is passed 8-1. (11.1.3) 2018 compliance audit return with the officer's recommendation on page 29. Do I have a mover in the officer's recommendation?
Point of clarification, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Councillor.
Page 30, down the bottom where it says level of significance. Can I, it says in accordance with policy 4009, significant decision making, the matter is considered to be a medium. Can I change that to high? Due to the fact that it said high significant, due to likely consequences arising from non-compliance, potential to impact the town's ability to deliver services, etc. So can I just get that word changed?
No, I'm afraid you can't, because it's a report from officers, obviously officers that are experienced in looking at these things and applying those the schedule, I suppose, of significance. As councillors, I don't think we have the experience to just go and change these things ad hoc. So
it's just a word, Mr. Mayor, but okay, I heard what you said, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So moved.
So moved, Councillor Arif. Do I have a seconder? Councillor McDonough. Do I have any against? Motion's passed 9-0. 11.1.4 status of council decision updates with the officer's recommendation on page 33. Do I have a mover?
So moved.
Moved Councillor
Seconded.
McDonough. Seconded Councillor Arif. Do I have any against? Motion's passed 9-0. 11.2.1 phasing out of single-use plastics with the officer's recommendation on page 35.
Want a clarification there?
Yes.
I was just wondering, could we clarify? So this is only the town sites. The bit I wanted to question, does this affect immediately community sporting groups that use our facilities?
See ya.
Through the chair, the intention is in time that it would, but it's now events that the town carries out and within the organisation itself, and then we look to roll that out with consultation.
So when you mean, through the mayor, when you mean roll it out, does that mean that it comes back to council, or you just automatically, whenever, put it on sporting groups?
The intention would be to discuss it with them and look to how we can reduce it. So yes, we would implement it, and but it does need some discussion.
Mr. Mayor.
Oh, sorry. Just the other question, in the agenda item, I wanted to know, mentioned other local governments. What local governments have implemented this ban on single-use plastic, and how have they done it?
So currently the City of Karratha has implemented it, and there's a number of local governments in Perth that have implemented this. It was also a specific request from the Minister of Environment to go down this in addition to Councillor Hebab, can you tell me the plastic ban? What is single? That's the one. Yes. In addition to the single-use plastic bag ban, this is just another initiative to try and reduce plastics.
And just the second part of that question, thanks, Mayor. Seeing you've mentioned Karratha, how did they approach theirs?
A CEO?
Very much in the way we're approaching it, that we will develop a policy on how we would roll it out. We would first apply it to ourselves and the way we do business, and then once that policy is developed and consulted on, we would then roll it out.
Thank you.
Mr Mayor, can I get the aircon put back on, please?
Oh, yes. Okay. Do I have any
Mr. Mayor,
questions? Yes.
I'd like to lay this item on the table, please, because I think we need a lot more discussion on the issue.
Policy will come back to
council. The policy will come back to council. So the policy will be discussed by council. Would you still like to?
I still like to lay it on the table, Mr. Mayor, and then we can discuss policies and all that, and then come back with suitable decision for the town.
Sorry.
Can I get a clarification? Hang on. So would you like to move that motion to lay it on the table?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Do I have a seconder on that motion? Seconded Councillor Whitwell. This is a procedural motion as well. Can I just... it just goes to a vote. Yes. Okay. Are those in favour of laying it on the table? Can I show of hands those in favour? Yes. And those against? Motion's lost. We revert back to the motion to lay it on the table was lost at 5-4.
Move the motion as it is.
Thank you, Councillor Arif. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Hebbar. Do I have any against?
Yes, Mr Mayor.
Speakers for, Councillor Arif. Speakers for, Councillor Hebbar. Speakers against, Councillor De Cash.
Thank you very much. I was very pleased to see this on the agenda because it was something that I was going to bring forward myself because this is a particular passion of mine. The phasing out of single-use plastics is happening in councils all over Australia. I know the City of Darwin did it. I think the Mayor mentioned cities in Perth or councils in Perth. Fremantle have done it. Karratha, I think it was their February meeting. I was so envious that they beat us to it. I wanted us to be the leading way. This is the future. We need to embrace it. The fact that it is a phasing out process is a good thing. This will be at council-run events initially, and I know where it has been taken up a little bit earlier, it has been embraced. People don't want single-use plastic anymore. They don't want garbage bins filled up. They don't want the landfills filled up with single-use plastic. People are more environmentally conscious, and this is what the world is wanting. And I think Port Hedland, town of Port Hedland, are in step by taking this on, and to do it sooner rather than later. And I was very pleased to see it on the agenda.
Thank you, Councillor Arif. Speakers for, Councillor Hebbar.
Thank you. I concur with Councillor Arif. I feel that this is just the stepping stone to develop the strategy and also the policy to ban it. And I think that we'll find that we'll be producing lots of cost savings across council sites without the use of waste and collection of plastic. And we're also showing an example to the community that it's time to start doing this, stop using single plastic use. Thank you.
Speakers against, Councillor De Cash.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. The reason I'm really concerned about this is because, when you talk about getting rid of things like cups, bowls, plates, takeaway containers, bottled drinks, i.e. waters, your Powerades, straws I've got no issue, but cutlery, balloons I've got no issues. These are things that a lot of sporting bodies, to get revenue, they sell. They sell bottled water, they sell Powerades. They can't have glass on the ovals, so they get those little plastic wine glasses, etc., etc. It's a situation. I understand it's a policy, but I would have liked to be part of it before it came through. That it's going to cost money, right? If you go to the Chinese shop and you buy takeaways, they give it to you in the plastic containers. You walk down the Cemetery Beach to eat it. Other plastic rangers going to come around and say, listen, you can't have these plastic containers and eat from them. You have to go, well, you have to go somewhere else, I suppose. It's a range of things. Plastic bags, fine, but when you talk about a whole range of things that people rely on, what's the Chinese shop, the Indian shop, or the Australian shop going to do? What about your pies and pasties? They come in plastic bags. What are you going to do with those things? Sell them or what? It's a huge issue, Councillor. That's why I've got a real problem with it, and I'm not agreeing with it. Thank you.
Speakers for?
Yeah, I'll speak for it, Matt.
Thank you.
It's pretty simple, really. It's developing a policy. That's what it's about, and developing a strategy. So it will come back to council for our approval anyway. So let's just put it to the vote.
Speakers against?
I'd just like to say something about this. Look, I'm very much in favour of trying to reduce the amount of plastics around, and I do that myself with, trying to put them into a different form. This is the area that I'm not sure about, though. It's this question of what we do with it. So, you know, we won't have any there, but then we'll replace them with something else to carry in. So it's a little bit more complicated than what we think. And in the meantime, I suppose what I'd like to have happen is if this move was made, then we would think of ways to use this material anyway. You know, we've got plastic things which are made from reused plastic, you know, and very good. And in fact, they will stand about 30 years or so without any problem, much better than timber. And so, you know, we've just got to watch where we're going with plastic. I think it all comes from, as we know, from oil and the like, which is so it's not it's naturally occurring, but it's actually happening in a different way that we're using it. And so, you know, it just seems to me that a little bit more thought into this would be a good idea. So that was the only reason I indicated that I wouldn't do it at this stage. But I do think that it's very important that we do move that way in some way, not to be determined, right?
Speakers for? Okay, I'll speak for it. You know, it's quite simple actually, and it's written in the detailed section here of the agenda item. International and national level of governments are making positive steps to eliminate single-use plastics in an effort to reduce the negative impacts on the environment. Quite simple. And the office's recommendation is again quite simple. It's to develop a strategy. It's to develop a policy. So again, I've mentioned this many times to council, that policy is developed by the council, not by the administration. So in actual fact, what you're saying, if you don't pass this, is you don't want to develop a policy or a strategy, period. And this whole conversation stops dead right now. So I suggest, you know, that we approve the officer's recommendation and then move forward and actually discuss developing the strategy and discuss developing the policy as per what the officer's recommendation is suggesting. Speakers against?
I'd like to speak against it. I'm all for this to, you know, reduce the single use of plastic items. I've recently done a little bit of research and stuff on it, and the amount of plastic that's accumulated, especially in our oceans, it's very quite concerning. The reason that I want to speak against this tonight is just in regards to initially it will be just town events, but then roll out to sporting groups and things and stuff like that. What my concern is with them is that sometimes the alternatives, so the biodegradable products or what else they could use to be able to contain foods, beverages and whatever else, and it actually can be quite costly compared to the plastic alternative. So if we were to roll this out, I'd like to see the council support businesses in that, and also sporting and community groups to enable to be able to continue with the fees that they charge people out there in the community, and also to be able to roll on with this single plastic item use. Because I mean, we have in here, we've already got the plastic bag ban, which is good, but cups, bowls, plates, takeaway containers, bottled drinks, straws, cutlery, and I think balloons is already something that's been pushed through state legislation. But you know, to bottled drinks, to the alternative to that is to instill water fountains, and sometimes water fountains out there in the community aren't well kept, and they're a risk of hygiene and things and stuff like that. That's what I'm concerned about in regards to this, but other than that, I'm all for looking at ways to reduce plastic use in the town. Thank you.
Speakers for? Speakers against?
Well, so one thing, why I'm against. I am all for the town taking on this policy, but I am against inflicting on sporting groups that use our facilities. That's the only that I think everything else that everyone had said has sort of been covered, but that was the only bit of this that, yeah, didn't agree with me. Thank you.
Speakers for? Speakers against? Right, a reply, Councillor Arif.
Thank you very much. Councillor De Cash said, this was a huge issue, and it is a huge issue. Just watching last year's ABC show War on Waste, and it said how big an issue it is. It's great that the town of Port Hedland are embracing this, and a couple of the debating points against this were one about the selling of water bottles and things like that. Well, a container deposit scheme is imminent. It is coming soon. You will be able to still sell your bottles of water and your plastic bottles and things and get your money back. So that's great. Another debating point was the cost. Now, when you buy your Chinese or your Indian and it comes in a plastic takeaway container, it has been costed into the cost of your meal already. So when the shop, the retailer, switches to, of their own accord, bamboo, which is the go-to biodegradable cutlery and stuff now, once again, that will be costed in. So the retailer will not be out of pocket. It might impact on the purchaser, but I don't believe it'll be a great impact to the purchaser. I think that, and onto the sporting groups and the word inflicted on the sporting groups. Most sporting groups in this town are our younger generation, and the younger generation are the ones that want to preserve our environment. They will take it on board and be able to adapt, and that's what is happening all around the state, the country and around the world, where they are adapting to environmentally friendly alternative options. With that, councillors, I think we should be voting for phasing out of single-use plastics, and a big hurrah to our town if we do it. Thank you.
Put it to a vote. Those in favour of the officer's recommendation, show of hands please. And those against? Motion's passed 8-1. (11.2.2) Amendment of the Town of Port Hedland Delegated Register with the officer's recommendation on page 39. Do I have a mover in the officer's recommendation?
So moved.
Councillor McDonough.
Seconded.
Seconded, Councillor Arrow. Do I have any against? Motion is passed 9-0. 11.3.1 Award of RFT 2018-41 Public Place Bin Enclosure Design, Manufacture and Supply with the officer's recommendation on page 43. Do I have a mover in the officer's recommendation?
So moved.
Move Councillor McDonough. Do I have a seconder?
Seconded.
Councillor Arrow. Seconded. Do I have any against? Motion's passed 9-0. The past officer recommendation is that Council endorse the recommendation of the evaluation panel and award the RFT 2018-41 a public place bin enclosure design, manufacture and supply to... Jeez, I can't even read my writing. Hang on a sec. To KAT5, CAT 5, PT what?
GCI Group.
GCI? Did I get this? Hang on. Item 1211 131. Yes, hang on, just, okay. To GCI Industry Group. And the value of the contract, is it 69? Okay. The value of the contract is $581,488.81, excluding GST, over 5 years. Thank you. Can I get the numbers on the others? CEO. 11.3.2, award of RFT 2018-31 McGregor Street tank replacement stage 1, with the officer recommendation on page 49. Do I have a mover in the officer's recommendation?
So moved.
Move Councillor Arif.
I'll second it, Mayor.
And seconded Councillor McDonough. And do I have any against? The motion is passed 9-0. Now, okay, 800. Yes. Okay. So the officer's recommendation will read: endorse the award. Separable portion 1 RFT 2018-31 McGregor irrigation tank replacement stage 1 tank 1 to Industrial Automation Group for a total value of $225,873 excluding. Number 2, endorse the award of a separable portion 2 RFT 2018-31 McGregor irrigation tank replacement stage 1 tank 2 to Industrial Automation Group for a total of $208,945.89. Yes. Okay. Subject to Council adopting the 2019-2020 budget. 11.3.1, award of RFT 2018-43 curb renewal program for the town of Port Hedland, with the officer's recommendation on page 53. Do I have a mover in the officer's recommendation? Move Councillor McDonough. Did I see your hand go up there?
Yeah.
Yes?
Happy to, so moved.
McDonough moved. Do I have a seconder? Seconded Councillor Whitwell. Do I have any against? Motion's passed 9-0. So, let me have a look. It's 150. So the officer's recommendation will read that Council endorse the recommendation of the Evaluation Panel and award RFT 2018-43 curb renewal program for the town of Port Hedland to Cat 5 Pty Ltd. The contract is for an initial period of 2 years with an option to extend the contract for a further 1 year at the absolute discretion of the town. The estimated contract value is $150,000. Yes. $150,000 excluding GST per annum, subject to annual budget adoption. Thank you. Item 12, reports of committees. 12.1, the Audit, Risk and Governance Committee minutes, 12th of February 2019. 12.2, the Audit, Risk and Governance Committee minutes, 12th of February 2019. 12.3, the Audit, Risk and Governance Committee minutes, 12th of February 2019. 12.4, the Audit, Risk and Governance Committee minutes, 12th of February 2019. 12.5, the Audit, Risk and Governance Committee minutes, 12th of February 2019. 12.6, the Audit, Risk and Governance Committee minutes, 12th of February 2019. 12.7, the Audit, Risk and Governance Committee minutes, 12th of February 2019. 12.8, the Audit, Risk and Governance Committee minutes, 12th of February 2019. 12.9, the Audit, Risk and Governance Committee minutes, 12th of February 2019. 12.10, the Audit, Risk and Governance with the officer's recommendation on page 57.
So moved.
Moved Councillor McDonough. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Arif.
Seconded.
Do I have any against? Motion's passed 9-0. Okay. Item 13, motion from which previous notice has been given, there is nil. Item 14, new business of an urgent nature, there is nil. Item 15, matters for which the meeting may be closed, confidential matters. We have one confidential matter, so can I ask for a mover to go into confidence? Moved Councillor Whitwell. Do I have a seconder, Councillor Pitt? Do I have any against? Motion's passed 9-0. Okay.